Shalom Alochon. Shalom Alochon. Shimi ila Vanessa Wishalom, u'ana iwan haddantat club seated Malhotet Rabi Nimrod Simono, ubudhoyan makrawantet khurza qada haramsha. Qabalochum iwam shena awaduta itra elbeu isritlat Malhotet Rabi Nimrod Simono. Qada haramsha, morizewa khurza prisha, utlin saura bidmaswe khiyalochun. من جيبت سيتد شوتا بوتا أطوريتد أستراليتا وخلب سيتد موهوتد رابي نمرود سيمونو قبولم شينا قلصة قشيشة رامن يوخانس من ايتد مدنخت أطوريتا غو سيدني أبزي كل سياتة أمتناية وقبة بوليتقاية ومقروانت برس قالة وبرس خزوة آنا دينة أمن إديوم يوما قبولم شينا دايلي federal member for Fowler أبزي مي فرانكا بيرني من متوت مديتد فيرفيلد أخ إتلن أرخي من إديوم يوما لي هم زميلي شانا أطورايا بتمقروخ خرزت لي شانا English. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Vanessa Wishalom, and I will be your MC for this evening. I would like to welcome you all to the 2023 Rabi Nimrod Simono Scholarship Presentation Evening. I would like to begin by acknowledging the Darug people, the traditional custodians of the land on which we gather today, and pay my respects to their elders past, present, and emerging. I extend that respect to any Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples here today and acknowledge that sovereignty was never ceded. On behalf of the Assyrian Australian Association and the Rabi Nimrod Simono Scholarship Committee, we would like to extend our welcome to our distinguished guests for this evening. Reverend Raman Yochanes from the Assyrian Church of the East in Sydney, Ms. Di Lee, Federal Member for Fowler, the Mayor of Fairfield, Mr. Frank Carboni, and our keynote speaker for this evening, Dr. Ramina Joju-Frienrich. I'd like to thank all the Assyrian organizations, political groups, and radio hosts who have accepted our invitation, as well as each and every person who's here today to celebrate the success and achievements of the 2023 Rabi Nimrod Simono Scholarship recipients. To begin our program this evening, I'd like to welcome Dr. Benjamin Dawood as the President of the Assyrian Australian Association to give his formal address.
Thank you, Vanessa. Good evening. Daily MP, Federal Member of Fowler, Mr. Frank Carboni, Mayor of Fairfield, Ravi Raman Yochanes, Representative Church of the East, representative of all our Assyrian organizations, dear members and guests, and special welcome for our students. On behalf of Assyrian Australian Association, I'd like to welcome you on this happy occasion where we represent this award every year. Just a little note about the person whose name is being put on this scholarship. Rabi Nimrod Simono was invited in 1985 to come to Australia from Tehran, Iran. And the association saw it fit to name an award in his name for his contribution to the Assyrian language and being an Assyrian scholar. And that's how this award was made up. And I'm personally privileged to see Rabi Nimrod when he was here, and also my involvement with the association and a sponsor for the scholarship for 8 years. This is the 36 years of presentation of this award, and with today's recipients, we will have 153 worthy recipients of this award. They all achieved through their professional career later on, and some of them they excelled in their work. If I start naming them, I'll be here for the next half an hour, outlining their achievements. I'm very happy that these people, we see them every now and then here, being part of our organization and contributing back to what the association present to them as a gesture rather than being numerically a big value in money-wise, but the sense of togetherness and belonging to the community was always our aim to do that. Well, I would like to have a couple of words for the new students. As you start your university life, you find this a bit different than your high school. My first piece of advice for you is to acknowledge the sacrifices and the hard work your parents have put to make sure that you get somewhere in the future. So parents are very important part of your structure in going to university. My other advice will be to work hard. There's no substitution for working hard to achieve your goals. You study for the test, you do your assignments, you always keep it simple. You take opportunities when it comes, and you find that it's enjoyable life going to university. Some of the high school graduates, although they didn't make it to university, but I'm sure they have their goals in life to do apprenticeship, working early before going to university. So I wish them all best of luck in the coming years. You have to remember that you're never alone. You know, your parents, your grandparents, your teachers, your mentor, they're always there for you to help, especially in the first couple of years. So university life is an experience. It'll be completely different than what you have done so far. It's excitement, has a stress, as well as some social events, happy events. But the main thing for going to university is the purpose of preparing you for the future. So please take this advantage, take this opportunity, and give it the best shot. I would like to thank our sponsor for this year, and that's NEC Accounting Pty Limited, and also Dr. Raman Jeju Franklin, who's with us here. We're happy to see her here today. And special thanks for the three young ladies who did all this work, effortless, and Susan, Vanessa, and Mariam. Yeah. Finally, I would like to say to all of you, thank you for attending. I hope you will enjoy the rest of the evening, and God bless. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ben. I'd now like to ask Susan George, Chairperson of the Rabi Nimrod Simono Scholarship Subcommittee, to say a few words.
Thank you, Vanessa. Shlam alochon. Good evening to Reverend Father Raman Yuchanis, the board members of the AAA, Mayor of Fairfield, Mr. Frank Carboni, and the independent member for Fowler, Ms. Dai Lee, and all of our esteemed guests. Thank you for joining us tonight. I also want to extend a very warm welcome to four very special people, Mariam, Dennis, Shana, and Rosalinda, who are this year's recipients of the Rabi Nimrod Simono Scholarship. It's my pleasure to be the chairperson of the subcommittee for the third year running. It gives me a lot of joy to do this for our community. I was a previous recipient of this scholarship many years ago. And today, actually, when I was just reflecting on the recipients, I've known Shana since she was just wee high, and I'm starting to feel, you know, the age coming on, and we're welcoming in the youth as we start to, you know, move on out of that youth stage and into our own adulthood. But it's very exciting. It's really exciting to welcome 4 new alumni to this community of scholarship recipients. And I say that Dr. Ben did touch on it. It is a very prestigious group of alumni that you are joining. When we look through the history and all of the names that are presented, and you have a copy of them in the program, there are some incredible people that have come through these ranks and have accepted this scholarship and gone on to do extremely, extremely well, whether it's in their career or in their community life, or even just their family life. Accepting this scholarship doesn't mean you're going to go out there and you have to absolutely smash the lights out of whatever it is that you're going to do. What we want is for us to really look at the aims of this scholarship and for you to keep them at in the forefront of your mind and in your heart, with whatever it is that you go out and do. And I want to touch on a couple of those aims. I won't talk for too long, but I do want to touch on them because I think it's really important just to bring it back to why we continue to do this and what is the importance of this particular scholarship. So one thing that Rabi Nimrod, in his own legacy, the importance around him himself was that he was a teacher of the Assyrian language. And as we all know, I think 99.9% of the room today are Assyrian-speaking people. We know how important our language is to us as an identity marker of who we are and of our persistence and our perseverance as a people and as a culture. Although, we have a land and it's currently not ours, but our language throughout history will be the marker that tells that we still survived and that we were still around. So one of the key aims of this scholarship was to learn the language, to use the language, to know the language. I know, ironically, I am speaking English. We do have guests here. Ina halbat sura di khelantela, when lewa yimi rabita alis, yani yawa wala darsi gubeta. Ina جزوتا همزمت سورة اليبتت لشانا وما بلختت لشانا أنا قايلة رابلة أنا قيتها و اتلهيوي كلوخن إيمان ديسو البرشة لقامة بقرية الديوخن. Whether it's your academic achievements in your studies, you'll also keep the studies of your language and the use of your language at the forefront of what you're doing as well, because that is one of the reasons why we continue to run this scholarship. The other two things that I've highlighted in my address, these are two of the aims that were put down as part of the 6 or 7 key aims of the scholarship. One was to develop in the young people a sense of belonging and responsibility to their community. And the other one that I've chosen to highlight is to develop in the young people a sense of personal worthiness through their acceptance and appreciation of and pride in their Assyrian cultural background. And I won't take too much time, but I do want to share a small anecdote of my experiences at university. When I started in 2007, I went off into the great world of University of Sydney. I was very, very far away from home. And it was orientation. And at orientation at USyd in the arts faculty, they did something where they wanted us to do a scavenger hunt around the campus. And one of the things that you had to go and find was the statue of Gilgamesh. And I remember being a young girl and thinking how exciting that there's a statue of Gilgamesh in Australia on the grounds of the University of Sydney. And we went and we found it, and it was very, okay, this is cool, and no one else really understood the significance. And I said, well, that's part of an Assyrian legend, and I'm Assyrian. And they said to me, I remember the mentor, she may have been a third-year student, she said, I didn't realise that you guys were still around. I thought your people were extinct. And I said, oh no, we're definitely still here. Yeah, in Fairfield. We're a little bit further out from Camperdown. But that for me is a really important moment because it highlights the need for us all to walk every step with conviction, knowing who we are and where we came from. Because in your university life, you are stepping outside of the realms of, the suburbs that you grew up in. You'll be meeting various different people, and it's important to know who you are because that determines your character and it determines your foundation. So as you go through your university life, don't ever forget where you came from, and that is the purpose of this scholarship as well. It's to remind you that your Assyrian community is backing you, we're here with you every step of the way, and that you're never alone. You've come from a really strongly built foundation. So I will leave it there for tonight. Once again, congratulations to all of our recipients, and this is your night. Please enjoy it. Thank you.
Thank you, Susan. I'd now like to invite a familiar face, an honorary Assyrian, the Mayor of Fairfield City, Mr. Frank Carboni, to address the audience.
Now, I've got to tell you, there are many times that people have said that I look Assyrian, but I've never been known to be an honorary Assyrian, but I will take that. Thank you so much for that. Look, it's wonderful to be here once again tonight, and year after year I always try to come to this event, and I come because I think it's important as the Mayor to be able to come and, to the scholarship winners, to basically say to them how important it is, and also to say how proud of all of you we are. The fact that the Mayor comes, and I know that the member for Fowler, Daily, she's coming all the way from Canberra as well, non-stop to come to this event as well. And that's how we feel it's so important. And I want to acknowledge the wonderful work that Dr. Benjamin Dawood has done, also the Assyrian Australian Association. Of course, also I want to acknowledge Reverend Roman Yukanis, and of course to Susan George. It's always hard to speak after Susan. I mean, she's such a great speaker. I've got to say that, Susan, you always present yourself very well, and it's always difficult to speak after her. But we'll change the order. Next time I want to come before Susan, of course. Look, it is a very special event because we come to recognise these 4 students, not only for their achievements, but for what they actually want to achieve. And just in reading the booklet, I noticed that each of the students, Miriam, Dennis, Shana and Rosalinda, are all committed to not just studying, but in maintaining the Assyrian culture and the identity. And I think that is something that over the years as the Mayor, I've always come to have a better understanding of the Assyrian community, understanding your heritage and your tradition, understanding of where you come from to where you are. And no, you are not extinct, especially here in Fairfield, I've got to say. And when we talk about education is important for all of us, no matter what our culture. But I think when you look at the Assyrian history, you start to understand that education is especially important. That's actually what's kept your language alive. That's what's kept your traditions and your culture going. That's what's kept all of you going. That's what will keep your next generation in your community as Assyrians flourishing and growing, and making sure that those traditions are kept. Those traditions that are so precious to who you are and from where you have come. And when you look at the history of the Assyrian culture, it's always been a very, very rich one when it comes to education. Ever since the Assyrians existed in Mesopotamia, of course, the Assyrians were very well known for their advanced technology, for engineering, and of course for military tactics, especially in them days. That was really, really important. And the education was really highly valued in the Assyrian community. So much so that in the royal palace and the temples, they were actually the centres of learning. And that, not much has changed when you think about it. The Assyrian Church of the East is very much involved and does a wonderful job in making sure that the education continues through the various schools and make sure that your traditions continue. So I guess what I'm trying to say here is there's been, ever since history, are you taking a photo, Di? Do you want me to smile? Okay, so ever since history, the education is really important to each and every one. But I don't want to put pressure on the 4 students. And I'll say this to you, that I have a daughter that last year was at high school, and I've got to tell you, it was very difficult. It's never easy being a father or a mother of a daughter or a son that's about to do the year 12. I think you ride every bump. You ride every emotion. because, of course, they want to do well, they want to perform well, and they also want to make their parents very proud. That's just normal, I think, for any child who has their family support behind them. And my daughter went to Freeman High School, which isn't Catholic school up the road here, and you know, it was very tough for her, very difficult, and sometimes in the morning she found it really difficult to get up and to go and learn, and not because she didn't want to, it's just the anxiety of it all, the challenge of it all. Sometimes it can become too much for children. Sometimes as parents we don't realise what these students go through in actually being able to keep their parents proud and searching for a career and for qualifications. It's not easy. But what I have noticed with my daughter is since that time, she done okay in the HSC. She didn't do as well as what she wanted to do, but the most important thing that we always said to her was, look, we just want you to be happy and just do what you love doing, and if you do that, we will be backing you 100% and we'll be proud no matter what the outcome. And what I have noticed with my daughter, she now goes to the Australian Catholic University at Strathfield, and just want to end the story, but just to say, for someone that was struggling and couldn't quite find what she was searching for, and it's never easy when you're a Year 12 student to know what you want to do in the future and to keep everybody happy. Only last week, or this week I should say, my wife phoned me up to say that my daughter, because she's an amazing designer and visual arts, she does visual arts, and she came first. And her own drawings are actually going to be displayed at for a competition. But the point is not me telling you that she came first. The point is me telling you that she found what she wanted to do in life. And she loves doing what she wanted to do. If she come first or she come last, it doesn't matter, but she loves doing that. So I hope that, I guess what I want to say to each and every one of you is I hope that you all find and do what you love doing. I know some of you are at university already, and I hope that you're really passionate about what you do and that you follow through with it, because I'm sure your parents were there to support you no matter what. As parents, we want you all to be doctors and lawyers. We want you all to be surgeons. We want you all to make a lot of money, all right? Because we all want the very best for each and every one of you. But the one thing we want more than anything, is for all of you to be happy. That's the most important thing in life. So I want to congratulate each and every one of you for your achievement, for your passion, and for your relentless connection to your identity and your willingness to contribute to it like millions of Assyrians have before you, to make sure that you continue with the culture, continue to learn it, continue to actually teach it in the future, because no pressure to any of you four, but you are very, very important to your culture, just like every child of every Assyrian is here in Fairfield. So congratulations, well done. Congratulations to all the organisations that sponsor this event as well. I know there's many out there that sponsor the event. It's wonderful to see a community coming together. That's the best thing about tonight. To me, I see people coming together, willing to support others. And that is just amazing. And in recognition, of course, of Rabi Nimrod Simono, who, of course, more than 60 years, he pursued and taught the Assyrian language, someone that was obviously very, very passionate about his cause. And it's wonderful to see that he's been recognised as well. So thank you for inviting me. I won't be staying too long. It's been a very, very long week, and to be honest with you, I want to go and see my family as well tonight, because I haven't seen them for quite a while. And I know that Di, I'll tell you how passionate she is. She drove all the way from Canberra, and she called me at about 3 o'clock. She goes, it might be a bit late. I said, don't worry, you'll get there. But she left a bit early just so she could be here with you tonight. Sometimes people don't realise, and she would never tell you that, but I'm going to tell you anyway. So well done, Di, for coming out here today. And thank you very much for having us.
Thank you, Mayor Carboni, for your constant support of the Assyrian community. An association that I and many other young Assyrians are involved in is the Assyrian Students Association of Australia. We would like to invite Ms. Rana Dawood, the fundraising coordinator of the ASA, to say a few words.
Thank you, Vanessa. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests and scholarship recipients, good evening. Today we gather here to celebrate a remarkable initiative that holds great significance for our Assyrian community, the Rabi Nimrod Simono Scholarship. My name is Rana Dawood and I am the 2023 Fundraising Coordinator of the Assyrian Students Association of Australia, also known as the ASAA. It is with great honour that I stand before and address all of you on this momentous occasion. The Rabi Nimrod Simono Scholarship exemplifies the values of education and learning, providing financial assistance to Assyrian students who are embarking on their journey into tertiary education. However, this scholarship is not just about financial aid. It is a powerful catalyst that encourages and supports students in their academic pursuits. It plays a vital role within our community by promoting education, empowering our youth, and enabling them to lead educated and fulfilled lives. Through this scholarship, countless opportunities arise for young Assyrians to pursue a university education. It is truly inspiring to witness the breadth of fields in which our community's youth are studying: science, engineering, arts, education, business, and countless others. The RNS Scholarship is a beacon of hope and aspiration for these students, instilling in them the confidence to pursue their dreams and make a lasting impact in their chosen fields. The ASAA stands as a testament to the commitment of the Assyrian youth to promote and uplift our community, with branches at the University of Sydney, the University of New South Wales, Macquarie University, and the Australian Catholic University Strathfield campus. These branches operate under the oversight of the ASAA's overarching executive committee. Overall, the ASAA strives to achieve its goals and objectives of strengthening the Assyrian identity amongst tertiary students in Australia and encouraging Assyrian youth to pursue higher education. Education is the key to empowering our community, and the ASAA, alongside its branches, work tirelessly to create networking, social, and educational opportunities for Assyrian university students. Throughout the year, the ASAA organises a plethora of events aimed at fostering growth and unity within the community. These events include educational seminars, social gatherings, Q&A sessions with esteemed guests, and maintaining an active presence on social media platforms. By engaging with our community and celebrating our rich heritage, the ASAA creates a sense of belonging among Assyrian students, encouraging them to take an active role in shaping our collective future. The ASAA is open to all university students and alumni of 5 years. By becoming members, students gain exclusive access to events, merchandise, and other incentives that further enhance their university experience. We urge all Assyrian youth to participate in our events and connect with us through our social media platforms, as these avenues provide valuable opportunities to increase their engagement with the Assyrian community. Finally, I would like to take this moment to extend my congratulations to the recipients of the RNS Scholarship. Each one of you has shown exceptional dedication, perseverance, and academic prowess to have earned this award. As you embark on the next chapter of your educational journey, I want to assure you that the ASAA and the Assyrian community as a whole stand beside you, offering our unwavering support and encouragement. I have no doubt that you will go on to achieve great things, and I wish you all the very best in your future endeavours. Thank you.
Thank you, Rana. We encourage all the young Assyrian University students and recent university graduates to join the Assyrian Students Association of Australia to get more involved in our community. In a short moment, we will go to intermission, in which we welcome Maria Isaac for her performance with the violin. Maria Isaac was a recipient of the Rabi Nimrod Simono Scholarship in 2008 and went on to study music at the prestigious Conservatorium of Music at Sydney University. We are very excited to have Maria with us at this evening. You're also all welcome to the tea and coffee station at the back of the hall. Enjoy. Thank you, everyone. If everyone can please just return to their seats. Thank you. The legacy of this scholarship is grounded in what Rabi Nimrod himself stood for, the support of young Assyrians to thrive in their education and strive to reach heights with a foundation in our tradition, culture, and language. I would like to invite Dr. Ramina Jeju-Frienrich to come to the stage to share some of her own stories when she was in correspondence with Rabi Nimrod Simono himself. Dr. Ramina is an RNSS alumni from 1988 and has gone on to do amazing things in her life, whilst always coming back to the lessons taught by Rabi Nimrod Simono himself. In light of this, we would like to invite RNS alumni, Dr. Ramina, to highlight the letters from Rabi Nimrod and tell us of her own experiences and a few words of encouragement to our newest alumni.
Thank you, Vanessa. Thank you for that lovely introduction. Reverend Father Raman Yohannes, Dr. Benjamin Dawood, Rabi Nimrod Simono Scholarship Subcommittee, our two honorary Assyrians, Mayor Carboni and Ms. Lee, representatives of various political, cultural, social, spiritual, and media organizations. And of course, last but not the least, the wonderful 4 scholarship recipients and the beautiful guests. Thank you for this opportunity. I'm so glad to be here with you tonight. And I just, when Vanessa reached out to me to say a few words tonight, I just said, what? Me again? Aren't you tired of me? I was here 2 years ago. She said, no, I think you could share a few things, a story that I had shared with her a few years ago about Rabi Nimrod Simono. And I figured, you know, you guys might find it interesting as well. In 1988, I believe I had just entered medical school. And I had received the scholarship. And they said, Ramina, you know, you really should try and write a letter and start communicating with Rabi Simono. And I thought, oh my God, this is really scary. And can I just share a little secret with you? I'm a little scared tonight, right this minute, because all these wonderful speakers, I'm in awe. Everybody's so polished. I mean, watch out for Vanessa. She's an amazing speaker. She's going to do some great things. And I'm not such a polished speaker myself, but I would like to share that story with you because it comes from the heart. So in 1988, I took the liberty of writing the first letter to Rabi Simono in Assyrian. My Assyrian was much better back then, sadly, but it was good enough. So I wrote the letter, and I wrote a whole draft. I revised it several times, and then finally I wrote the final version, and I mailed it to him. And in July of 1988, we received the first letter, his first response to me, back to me. And his very first letters were actually handwritten, and slowly with time, he started typing them. They're very long. They were probably 2 pages long each, and then the third page would be corrections to the grammatical corrections to my letter, and it'd say, this is how you spell this word, not this. And you know, that was the only way that him and I could communicate, and we never really picked up the phone and called each other, and there was no FaceTiming, there was no texting, there was no Instagram, no cell phones, right? An 18-year-old girl and an 80-year-old scholar, a very smart man, became pen pals. And over the next 6 years, we exchanged letters, and I would always write the draft first, and I would send him the final version. And there were times that I would actually be an MC here for certain events, so I would write that, speech out, and I would send a copy of my speech to him too, so he could critique it for me. And of course, he took the time and he did it. And then with time, what happened was that he started typing his letters, and then as time went on, his letters became shorter, and the vowels were left out. We call the vowels, Miss Lee, we call them Zoa, and you can write Assyrian without the vowels, but not for me. I needed the vowels, but I had to kind of figure it out and figure out what he was saying. So I read the letters without the vowels, and then they became shorter and shorter, and his final letter was dated December of 1993. And it was in a response to a letter that I had written, and I had given the good news because I had passed the final exams in medical school, and I was so happy, so I had to share it with him. So that was his last letter to me. After that, the communication stopped. I don't know why. We know that Rabi Simono passed away at the age of 96 in 2004, and he remained very active to the very last day. So when I was asked to talk tonight, I figured, well, we have all these letters. There are 17 of his letters to me that included not only letters, but also poems that he really enjoyed. For instance, he sent me a copy of a poem by a very famous Assyrian poet, Jean Alchas. And he would send us Christmas cards, little notes with different contents. And surprisingly, Dad kept all of those letters. And Dad loves to be put on the spot, but I have to tell you something about my dad. He loves to keep everything. He doesn't throw anything away. I know, he's just, don't say that. Don't do that, Ramina. In fact, recently we discovered one of those hard Samsonite briefcases from 45 years ago that he held onto because it was such a good briefcase and it worked so well. And recently we decided, no, it's time for it to go. And God bless Mom, she's like, yeah, just let him keep it. So not only did he keep his Rabi Simono's letters, but he also kept all of my draft letters to him, with all the scribbles and things, lines being crossed out and sentences being rewritten. So there are about 7 or 8 of my letters in there as well, and some additional speeches that I'd kept. So we have all of those. And I'm so grateful to Mom and Dad for keeping those letters, because as I go back and read through them, I just realized that I knew a legend through these letters. I never talked to him, I never heard his voice, except maybe on certain tapes. But it was such an honor, and boy, it was amazing. So today I would like to read his last letter to me for two reasons. Only to impress upon what Miss Susan George said earlier on. Holding on to our language is very important. Sometimes I think if they took all the Assyrians in the world and they put them all in one island and they said, here's your country, do what you like, you can have it, run it as you want, on one condition: you cannot speak your language anymore. Pick any language except Assyrian. I wonder if we would survive as Assyrians. 1 or 2 generations will be something else, will be a different nation. So even though we call ourselves stateless people, I think that our language is one thing that really keeps us together, and we should keep it alive by speaking it, by reading it, by writing it, and passing it along. The other reason I want to read this letter to you, and I'm going to finish with that, is that I want Rabi Simono to be with us here today, and I want to kind of feel his presence and judge for yourself the kind of man that he was. In fact, before I also forget, this letter that he wrote is actually published in the booklet tonight. Thank you to the RNS committee and the association. And all of these letters will be archived and will be kept at the Ashurbanipal Library. Thank you to Mr. Joseph. Got to put the glasses on. Now, a little warning, some of the words I can't figure out, but I'll try. Mukhibti asita ramina jaju. بخادوتا جورتا قبلي شيخ داخت منتيتا بسخصياتا تشيتا خارتا ببتصوبت أسيوتا حد خز بسباري بمنخ وبإيقارة بدرايمن شلامة الله ميقرتا أسيتا رمينا مخبتا وبطلابة من مريا إيشو مشيخة دي يومت شبتا بدن زي خخل مولادي قديشة دي مشبخ الله بركاتو دمستيت منتيت بالشولة ربط أسعوتا ودمشتعلانوتا جرتا سنأتت أسيوتا ويفلخ صبرانوتا أمرانخ وخبقاتي أخمشيخة بزونة لا منشيت إتلغ زفاليتا دهويت مقدرانتا تبني أمتخ دي لانايت سنيقة وبهالخد المارومة شمت أمتان جو أم بريه دقيت بقو أطرى بريخة أستراليا باروخ من زمنتيتخ قاواهخ يقيرة دقيتلن وجربسنا أغدي يخبراتا هتخزي الشوتا بوتا آتوريتا أستراليتا دم يقرتا خيلا بيبلتت شوكانة دقيلي بشمد دكي مخبلا خرابة أخبابة روخنايا نمرود سيمونو تهران إسريتري بكانو قامايا ألبو جمو إجيبلا باسي مرابا قدادانو
Thank you, Dr. Amina, for your insightful words. I'm sure many of the past recipients and people in the audience resonate with your sentiments. Now, coming to the moment of the night that we have all been waiting for, it is time to award the recipients of the Rabi Nimrod Simono Scholarship of 2023. We would like to invite Ms. Dai Lee to the stage to say a few words and then to present the awards to the recipients.
Thank you, Vanessa. Shlama Lochen. I hope I got that right. And I have to thank my councillor colleague, Carmen Lazar, who taught me that. Am I improving, Carmen? Thank you. And of course, thank you to the Assyrian Australian Association and the Rabi Nimrod Simono Scholarship for having me here tonight. Wonderful, Dr. Ramina, it's such a wonderful story that you told there. As I sat there, I listened, I thought, what a legend, what an icon that Dr. Rabi Nimrod Simono was, and what such a great figure for your community. Before I begin, of course, I would also like to acknowledge the Mayor, Frank Carboni. Thank you for encouraged me to drive here and say, don't worry, and drive to the cold to be here with you. As you know, this is a very important community for me. And thank you, Dr. Benjamin Dawood, and of course, Joseph there next to me, and Father Raman Yukana, Susan George, thank you, and Vanessa. And your community is such an amazing community. I know you say it's stateless, but I think you have got a home here in Fairfield and in Australia. And I think you need to create that and manifest that this is now your home. And it's great that you're able to retain your culture, your tradition, and encouraging young people to maintain that. Just today at Parliament, I had a meeting with the Professor Barney and also who's chairing a review of our universities across Australia. So the review will be coming to a group of us who are independents, because I'm an independent, and the government would like us to give us feedback on this review about the universities across Australia. And I would be reaching out to you because it's an important review in terms of our university system at the moment and how it could be better accessed for, especially from people from socially disadvantaged regions such as our area of Fowler. So I'm very keen to engage with the young people here to get your input to make sure that the universities moving forward can provide you the best environment for you to learn, grow and thrive, and that you're able to then take those skills to go into the workforce. So that's one thing. And I'm in a very privileged position because often when government is in power and they make policies, they will just push through the policies without consultation. But there's such a big independent group in Parliament in Canberra at the moment, and they are they want to engage with us to give them feedback on this very, very important. It's the first review in 15 years, so it's a very important review to have. That's one thing. The second thing is I've also been approached by the president of Sydney University and the Vice Chancellor, Professor Mark Scott, who wanted to engage with the Fowler electorate to provide scholarships for our students to enter Sydney University. And the scholarship is worth $8,500 annually until they finish their graduate degree. So last year they provided 155 scholarships to young people, the undergraduates in Fowler, out of the 655 that the university provided. And we have the most in Fowler, got the most scholarships. And he really wanted to build more on that. So again, seeing what the community here has provided for the young people in the Assyrian Australian community, this scholarship here, I think adding another scholarship from a university would hopefully enable you to continue and pursue your education, and hoping that journey will then enable you to be part of the workforce and contribute to building Australia to make it a stronger, prosperous and inclusive society. So those are just a few things I wanted to say, but congratulations to the 4 students who have received the scholarship, and thank you to the Assyrian Australian Association for looking after your young, the youth in your community and putting together this fund for them. And please do reach out to my office at a federal level. As the Mayor said, we probably provide they look after the development here and all that. I can only do the least thing is hopefully trying to provide some kind of connection for the community to get access to better resources to enable you to be greater and great Australian citizens. So thank you for having me here, and I will now present the award.
In fourth place, we have Rosalinda Raul from St. Nasser Assyrian Christian College, receiving an ATAR of 73.60.
Stay there, Sam. Yeah, please.
In third place, we have Shana Michael from St. Nasser Assyrian Christian College, receiving an ATAR of 75.50. In second place, we have Dennis Sorrow from Fairfield High School with an ATAR of 81.75. Finally, in first place, we have Mariam Youssef from St. Nasser Assyrian Christian College with an ATAR of 88.0. Thank you, Di, for helping to present the awards to our recipients. We congratulate all of the 2023 recipients of the Rabi Nimrod Simono Scholarship, and we wish them luck in their academic studies and future endeavours. I'd like to invite Reverend Raman Yuchanis to give an address on behalf of the Assyrian Church of the East. Before embarking on his priesthood, Father Raman was also a recipient of this scholarship, and we are thankful for his support and the friendship shared through the years of the Assyrian Church of the East and Assyrian Church of the East Relief Organisation.
شمت بابا برونا روخت قدشا آمين رمشا بريخا لوخن مخبا. Thank you, Vanessa, for the warm welcome. وهاو بسيمة شوتابوتا وصيتها مريزنتا ليلة قام أسقن ومريقا فرانك وقضاي مري feel free أنا بصورة همزمن so قد لا أتويت ون لا برموية يطن شرشيا نكشيخنا so مريقا they're free to go قد همزمتي هويا بلشانة جانن هل بد مندي قامايا بشقالن أبرست قد برخن congratulate أودن أنا أربع يالوبة سكولاية إتلي إقارة شهارة سب أومس كدو يطنو برسو بايت شهاري وإقاري بيه إلى من سبب يطنو برسو بايت إديو مارخ congratulations إنا خبرت congratulations إتلي خمناي رابقورة ليلة أختشيد أمرخ congratulations وأتوخ ولوشخ وماخخ شابة خاليلة وآزخ بيتا سبب إمن قمساميلي قاشا أو يوم هربش ماينوا congratulations بريخة 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 إنا ضيلي congratulations يعني بشينا تيلوخ هدية بلخ هلوك وبابت بابخ باتي قماينخ. There's nothing more, nothing greater. Lid mindi bushabira, bush basima, min kha'a mirqali. Congratulations, bitshadi le, invite wadi le qad odin serve. Qad pelchich. Idu marich, congratulations. Shana, Mariam, Rosalinda, and is it Dominic? Dennis. I'll get to know you too. Marich, congratulations. How to mbrich el dash a scholarship. Ina up idu itlochon invitation khachiti. ويطن خزيان بناته بليخنا كشيخنا هذا أني قمشق لي وعشوكانا إديون باش قلون بمرخ congratulations قد هم شهاوي كدا خلمت because we need you ملة سنقتلا الأخن so بين هماشا خزن أخن قدن خرزة شوتا باية قو خلمته إيت هناية إيك مطقيتلا لن لخلن مارا خزن أخن قورا بنهرمس لا إيكت أختن قاريتون إيتلا ومتوخن هلبت كلن آتورايخ وإيتوخن إلى بلوخن make your mark مضيمون تامتون لا قشهارة مضيمون تامتون قبل خانة سبقي من خابة يبالخ من كل دلبة قاني شطابة for the right reason كل بلخانوخن بتهاوي fruitful مارت أنياتي قد برناشا بشاكل شوهارة بيوخن إنا مشيخة هاو خدية بيوخن مشيخة مخدخلة وبرناشا بلخ قاتي ودخ سيرف بس بقنايخ العرى وجموية وخ treasures قشمية بس ماني بخاصر وخبي so do what you can and end of the day whatever you do دوقخ إيدا بإيدا قمنتيتا وشوخة ورمرامت أمتن آتوريتا وهيمانو تمشيخيتا آلها بارخ لوخن آلها ناطر آبا هوخن اتمقمنا هت خيال سباي اتشقلخ شهارة بيه خادغ بيه خخ قيشاني مسقدانا but she's okay كل سباينا كل داونا اتلني قارة شهارة بيه وهم شب صالخ سلوطة قد هاوي قو منتيتا قو قرياني قو بالخاني ات كل من ديد أودي كل بالخانة أودي هم شهويا خاتخ منزا وهي تسوف قديما أدخلمت قخينة آلها بتبرئيلا كل كجخة كل شرشيتا خب أسرة الأرقى وقملكوت تشمية آلها ناطرخن آلها باروخلخن هاتن بسيمة رابع
Thank you so much, Qasha Rahman, for your beautiful words of encouragement. As has been said numerous times this night and at previous ceremonies, being part of RNS is being part of a greater legacy tied to the Assyrian community. The network of alumni has gone on to work in different industries and occupations, but the experience of the scholarship is a common connection between us all, beyond age, experience, and background. We hope to see the recipients join and become part of more Assyrian initiatives and organizations in the future. I'd also like to present a small token of appreciation to Dr. Ramina for her inspiring talk this evening and for taking time out to come back and share her experience with us. Dr. Ramina is also a financial sponsor of the scholarship, and we thank her for her generous contributions. Thank you, Dr. Ramina.
Before I let Vanessa continue, I also want to ask Maria Isaac to come forward. Maria has been playing for us all evening, and we want to thank her so much for being here today as well.
I would like to thank you all for allowing me to host this evening. It's been an honor to be among such accomplished individuals and to be able to present before you all. Thank you. Once again, we congratulate the 2023 recipients of the Rabi Nimrod Simono Scholarship.
مازم ترى بنسا هدي فرصتي لخشة فرنسا بغشان جانا أخ بغزاتن آخر زاي مدرسة كله بيشتغل مش ملتبي خشمة خماسة دزوتها خشورة جبارة بيدينا قابلتها مريم ليلى منن إلى سوزن وفانيسا لخنا so in appreciation قاتي بيني ونوخا بشكر سورتا.
Again, I would like to thank you all for allowing me to host this evening. It's been an honor again. Once again, we congratulate the 2023 recipients of the Rabi Nimrod Simono Scholarship. We thank everyone who has attended today. We hope you all have a good night and hope to see you at next year's event. Pushim Shana, Ramshochen Bricha.
بس مرحبا بس بقريانا قبلانة شوكانا, so the scholarship recipients, Tem Laqama will take some group photos and then you can take some family photos as well.
Vratio što da je.